The launch of our social video lab is quite exciting news. Unruly has been in the social video business since it really began. We launched our business in 2006, distributing, tracking, and measuring video consumption across the web and most notably across social platforms. We're best known probably in the public world as the owners and the engine that powers viralvideochart.com, which measures sharing of video content across the web and across social platforms. So we work with advertisers a lot to distribute their content and drive significant amounts of earned media as a result of distributing that content across influential platforms. And this launch of this lab is really sort of the next step for us in helping to help advertisers understand how people engage with their content and how to make it a measurable and repeatable process and take advantage of the viral appeal of content. So this lab is really a collection of really interesting technology. But we've built kiosks that measure people's physical reactions to video content, their emotional reactions, eye tracking stations, and so things like that that are measuring sort of the biometric reaction that people have to video content. And then we've built a whole plethora of other stations across the lab that visualize the data and help advertisers and creators of content understand what makes a piece of content take off, what are the triggers that make content uniquely shareable, what are those triggers that make people want to engage with content and talk about it and pass it along. Eye tracking is very interesting, understanding exactly what it is within a piece of video content that captures the attention and the imagination of the user. I mean, eye tracking is a technology that's been around, although its application in a programmatic way to branded content is quite new. So just being able to take perhaps rough cut video and understand where the user is actually spending their time from a physical standpoint with that piece of content can be very interesting, and it can help make that content much more efficient. So we can find areas where the user is actually looking away from the video content perhaps because there's some abandonment issue happening there that makes them want to move away from it. There could be elements of a piece of video content that are highly compelling that pull the user in. Finding ways that we can help creators of content sort of turbocharge that and take advantage of those areas of dwell would be really interesting, we believe. And then we have biometric testing stations where we're actually measuring things like skin reaction, whether or not people actually get prickles in their skin when they're seeing a piece of content could be a really interesting thing to understand. And we also have facial recognition technology that's in place. So seeing whether or not users smile or chuckle when they see a piece of content can be really interesting and useful. Twitter, for example, as a sharing mechanism, is much more demonstrative and much more immediate, for example, than Facebook, which is something that really takes advantage of groundswell. So you see much faster sharing happening on Twitter, but you may see much larger amounts of sharing and then heavy conversation around content on a Facebook. And there are new platforms emerging every day. So 3 months ago, Pinterest suddenly became a platform of great interest for many advertisers. So enabling sharing on Pinterest became something that we made sure that we could do very quickly. So the next step is to build one here in New York, where our American headquarters is. And then, so we'd love to figure out how we can make this a portable experience and bring it where advertisers live. So in my mind, it makes a lot of sense to bring this social video lab to Detroit, for example, and allow automakers to engage with it. These are advertisers that spend a tremendous amount of time and money in producing video and engaging with their consumers that way. So it would be great for them to take advantage of it. Same for Los Angeles. so that we can allow folks in the entertainment space to experience it as well.